Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about information overload. And maybe you're listening in my channel today and yes, there's a lot of information, and I want to share the difference between information and transformation, because sometimes we are just taking in information but we don't see any changes in our lives. So click that subscribe button and listen to the end. Yeah, so what's the difference about information and transformation? And we see this a lot in today's society, especially as Christians as well. We take in a lot of information. There's fantastic books out there. There's wonderful YouTube videos out there about preachers and teaching the gospel. And it's just, we're in an information age. But we don't see transformation that much. And that's quite upsetting for me, because as a counselor and a coach, I want to see people's lives transformed. And the Bible talks about you will be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's what counseling and coaching is all about, is to transform by renewing your mind, by thinking about things differently. And we can only start changing if we start thinking about things differently and seeing things differently and doing things differently. Otherwise, we will just take that information and we won't see any transformation. So especially with our kids, we tend to teach them all this information and we know what we all should do, but we don't see it in our lives. And I want to challenge you today to stop listening to all the hundreds and thousands of things out there, and they are great and fantastic. But when you are listening to things, take one thing and to ask yourself, what action am I going to take to transform my life today? What one thing can I do? Because we get all these wonderful things, and especially when we're listening to sermons and stuff like that, there's always one little takeaway. But don't just take that one takeaway and go and feel condemned and think I should. Say, what one little step can I take today to make a little bit of a difference in my life and be transformed? Think about how you think about the situation. And it's actually about your mindset, how you focus. And we tend to, especially as Christians, want to judge. I don't know why we judge. We shouldn't judge, but that's one of the hard things. We judge ourselves. And we tend to say, okay, I shouldn't do that, I should do less, but then we move on to more information. And the thing is, when I was working at the university, I did counseling. One of my counseling centers was there, or our counseling center, when we did the unplanned pregnancy center, was on campus. And I found a lot of students jumping from one study to the next, and they switching majors all the time, and they keep on studying and studying and studying. Because I feel that it's an easy place to go and learn more, but it's much harder to go and do the work or go and apply for a job or actually go and do it. And sometimes it is out of fear because we don't transform, because it's easier to take information. You feel productive when you are taking in information, when you read a self-development book. I'm guilty of this as well. I subscribe for so many courses and so many programs that I'm enrolled in, because it's just such fantastic information. But you need to take a point where you say, okay, I need to stop studying and I actually need to do this. And then study a little bit more and go and do it. Study a little more and go and do it. You can't just study all the time, because we tend to hide behind the information and feel clever and have the excuses, but don't go and do it. And if you're a student listening today, or you have a child that you see they are studying, and it's wonderful, go and study. But don't be afraid to go out there and go and do it and be transformed. And especially in our spiritual walk, read a Bible, that's great, but go and be transformed by the word. Don't just read it and don't be transformed. And I pray that when you are reading the Bible or reading the word, that you will be transformed by what you are reading and go and apply that. We need to take action. Ask yourself, am I just learning because I'm scared? Or am I learning because I need to take a next step? And that's good. If you need to learn to take the next step, do that so that you can take the next step, make that transformation and go and learn again. So don't just get stuck in the information part of things, and be transformed. Thanks for listening.